இங்கே டிவி இருக்கு. ஓகே, இதை நான் கட் பண்ண போகிறேன். கொஞ்சம் வெளியே இருக்கு. ஓகே, கொஞ்சம் இடையே விடலாமா? We'll do that later. இதை ஏற்றிடலாம்.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Can you all hear me well? Can it be better? Okay. Balaji, little bit we have to adjust. Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om. You can increase the bass a little bit. Hari Om, Hari Om, and reduce the gain, a slight echo. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Good. I think it's better now. You all can hear well, right? Okay. सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, कर ले बंदे ये शुभ काम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, शिव आएंगे तेरे काम, शिव आएंगे तेरे काम। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। खुद को राख लपेटे फिरते, खुद को राख लपेटे फिरते, औरों को देते धन धान, औरों को देते धन धान। देवों के हित विष पीडाले, देवों के हित विष पीडाले। नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम, नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम, नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम, नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम। शिव आएंगे तेरे काम, शिव आएंगे तेरे काम। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। शिव के चरणों में मिलते हैं, शिव के चरणों में मिलते हैं। सारे तीर्थ चारों धाम, सारे तीर्थ चारों धाम। करनी का सुख तेरे हाथों, करनी का सुख तेरे हाथों। शिव के हाथों में परिणाम, शिव के हाथों में परिणाम, शिव के हाथों में परिणाम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम। शिव आएंगे तेरे काम। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम। शिव के रहते कैसी चिंता, शिव के रहते कैसी चिंता। साथ रहे प्रभु आठों याम, साथ रहे प्रभु आठों याम। शिव को भजले सुख पाओगे, शिव को भजले सुख पाओगे। मन को आएगा आराम, मन को आएगा आराम, मन को आएगा आराम। सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम, सुबह सुबह ले शिव का नाम। शिव आएंगे तेरे काम। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। Shivaya. Om Har Har Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev. Shri Satgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Bhagavad Gita is unique in several ways. We all chant in Gita Dhyanam, Sarvopanishado Gavaha, then Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha. Who is Vatsaha? Partho Vatsaha. Who is the drinker of milk? Sudhihi Bhokta, the one who has a beautiful mind will drink that milk. Gitam Rutaduhe Namaha. Salutations to the one who gave us this Bhagavad Gita, which is like the milk. And different cows, different Upanishads, they are the cows. The essence of Upanishad is Bhagavad Gita. Beauty of Bhagavad Gita is, it will not only tell us you have to drink the milk. Bhagavan will patiently explain all the steps which are required first to take care of the cow. Starting from bringing the grass, feeding the cow, and the last step is getting the milk. Meaning, a particular text can focus on two things. One is the goal, and second is the path to reach that goal. If you study Upanishads, they don't focus too much on the path. They say this is your goal, abidance in that non-dual truth. Figure out all the preparation which is needed to reach this goal. If there are 100 mantras in any Upanishad, hardly 2 mantras will be there. 2-3 mantras will be there on preparation. 90+% is on the goal. If at all they speak about the path, it will be about subtle meditation techniques called as upasanas. But first of all, to understand that upasana itself is so difficult. Then comes practicing that upasana, which is even more difficult. So that is one category of text. Upanishads will focus mainly on goal. Then there are some texts which are called as Dharma Granthas. Dharma Grantha, one example is Manusmriti or Viduraniti, comes in Mahabharata. There the emphasis is only on the path. It will say, do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. If you read 10 chapters, almost all chapters will be about do's and don'ts. Do you think we will like such a text? Only telling us what to do, what not to do. What should you eat, what should you not eat. What time should you wake up, what time should you not wake up. It is said we should wake up before sun rises. See, the moment you start hearing this, the question will be what? Why? Why should I wake up before sunrise? It is said if we want that kind of a mind, follow the instructions. But only do's and don'ts can become very dry. In between path is Bhagavad Gita. It will speak about the goal. It will also speak about the path. But path also in such a way that it becomes joyful to walk this path. On an average, not on an average, the number wise, there are 900 plus commentaries written on Bhagavad Gita. 900 plus. So many Mahatmas, so many social reformers, they have written commentaries. Whatever lens they saw Bhagavad Gita with, Mother Bhagavad Gita spoke to them in that way. So the first uniqueness is it shows us the goal, which is transcending the mind. It also shows us the path, which is beautifying the mind. Both are needed. If you only try to transcend the mind and keep saying that it is false, that false mind can give real sorrow. What we call as false will not go away because we are calling it as false. On the other hand, if we stay only at mind level, if our journey starts with mind and ends with mind, we have missed out on the greater truth, which Upanishads themselves say there is something beyond the mind also. Don't get so caught up with mind that we don't go beyond it. One Mahatma Ji, a disciple came to him and said, I'm agitated about something. Mind is disturbed right now. He said, there is one thief going on the road. Are you agitated about his mind also or only your mind? He says, no, I am agitated about only my mind. He said, that is your bondage. You are that infinite consciousness illumining all minds. Why have you taken this mind so seriously that you are getting concerned and bothered by it? That is the second step, transcending the mind. I am not this mind, neither am I any mind. If at all you want to be attached to a mind, he says, get attached with all minds. Don't hold on to only one mind. But when we are working on our mind, that will be the beautification part. It's a very interesting journey, You have to beautify something and let go of that thing. That is actually true Karma Yoga. Somebody asked Raman Maharshi Ji, Bhagwan, please teach me what is Karma Yoga. He said, come with me. They went up the mountain, Arunachala mountain. On the top of the hill, he found one stick. He said, I heard you are very good at carving. Carve this stick. So this person sat there, whole day he carved. Very nicely he carved the stick. When they were coming down, there was an elderly person struggling to walk. Bhagwan said, now give this stick to him. He said, one day I spent. But he said, I learned what is Karma Yoga. Doing something very well and then moving beyond it. Just like Karma Yoga is true for outside objects, for our mind also, the first phase is beautifying the mind. And the second one is knowing that I am not this beautiful mind. Only the person who is beautified can say this. These are fine prints in Vedanta. You are not the mind is true. Who can say this? Who has a non-bothering mind. So that is the uniqueness of Bhagavad Gita. It will tell us both the path and the goal. 15th chapter in particular is called as Shastra. Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam maya anagha. Hey Anagha, O sinless one, this Shastra I have told you now. To understand what is Shastra, it is important to know where does 15th chapter fit in. Don't say after 14th chapter. So where does 15th chapter come? After 14th chapter. First chapter is Arjuna's sorrow. First chapter is Arjuna's sorrow. The condition that Arjuna was, in simple words, he is telling Bhagwan Krishna, you don't understand what I am going through. You don't understand what I am going through right now. All I want to do is escape from this situation. And Bhagwan Krishna's simple advice to Arjuna is, Arjuna, you want to know one secret? Stay where you are. Don't look at Duryodhana. Don't look at Bhishma. Don't look at Drona. Look at me. Don't look at any one of them. Keep looking at me and do what you have to do. This is entire Karma Yoga in one line. In Hindi, Bhagwan says, देखो मेरी ओर, कर्तव्य करो दुनिया की ओर. Keep looking at me and with your hands keep working in the world outside. The moment your attention goes to the world, duty will drop. Either we will feel too overwhelmed somewhere or we will get attached somewhere. So Bhagwan says, Ma manusmara yudhyacha. Keep looking at me, keep your attention on me, and keep on working in the world outside. But Arjuna was not ready to accept, did not start responding just by this one line. And Bhagwan also doesn't want somebody to accept something just for the sake of it. He says, I will lay down everything on the table in detail. Whatever appeals to you, you take. Then you decide. Finally, after teaching, if you still say, I want to go back, Bhagwan would have said, I will turn back the chariot. But don't go back before the teaching is over. And his words are so powerful. What does Arjuna say? Karishye vachanam tava. Nashto moha smritir labdha. All my delusion is gone. I am not afraid of the situation anymore. I will do whatever you want me to do. Means I will do what has to be done, whatever is the right thing to be done, in the way that it has to be done. Everything I will do because you have removed my erroneous understanding. So Bhagwan begins the teaching from 2nd chapter to 6th chapter. This is regarding nature of self. What is our own true nature? That Bhagwan elaborates from 2nd to 6th chapter. From 7th chapter until 12th chapter, 7th chapter until 12th chapter, Bhagwan elaborates on nature of God. Bhagwan is talking about himself. Nature of Bhagwan, nature of God is 7th chapter through 12th chapter. In that only elaboration about creation comes. When we talk about nature, for us, nature is not only something which we respect. Nature is something which is divine. So much so that even if you have to pluck a leaf for a particular ritual, there are mantras which are chanted asking for forgiveness. So all of that Bhagwan elaborates from 7th chapter to 12th chapter. 13th and 14th chapter is talking about the oneness. Essential nature of self, essential nature of Jiva is the same as the essential nature of Ishvara. One truth alone has become Jiva with one conditioning. That truth alone has become Ishvara with another conditioning. It is just like in a Greek theater play, they have this mask. Same character, at one point wears a mask, after that wears some other mask. They might look different from outside, and they are different from outside, but essentially it's one and the same. Like that, Bhagwan says, essential nature of Jiva is consciousness. And essential nature of God is also consciousness. That oneness is pointed out in 13th and 14th chapter. Now 15th chapter is the summary or culmination of teaching in Bhagavad Gita. So really speaking, by 15th chapter, Bhagwan has wrapped up whatever he has to say. Then what are the other chapters for? Did he forget something? Bibliography, appendix. See, whenever there is a flow of thought, you always feel some ideas can be given special importance. So whatever ideas Bhagwan did not elaborate, those ideas he elaborates in the last 3 chapters. 16th, 17th and 18th is regarding sadhana. What is Daivi Sampatti and Asuri Sampatti? Divine qualities and demonic qualities. What are the different types of faith a person can have? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. How does it express in our own life? All of that he elaborates in last 3 chapters. So 15th chapter is very unique in that way because it is going to summarize all the key ideas that have come from 1st through 14th chapter. If this is your first Bhagavad Gita chapter, then you'll get a bird's eye view. Then you can start studying from Dhritarashtra Vacha, 1st chapter. If you have already studied 14th chapter, 15th chapter will tell us what not to miss. Sometimes what happens is, in the midst of elaboration, we miss the key point. In discourse also it happens, To explain one point, you gave an example. To explain that example, you told one story. Now finally you ask people, okay, where were we? Conveniently they say, you should know. You are the speaker, you should know. So Bhagwan will re-emphasize, don't miss Purushottama. The whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to take us towards that Purushottama. Don't get stuck in Kshara, don't get stuck in Akshara. Kshara means the material world that we see. It will come in 15th chapter. And Akshara means the causal state, Maya, which is unseen but very well there. Don't get stuck in both. Go towards Purushottama. That is who we are. Now we chant this chapter before playing, right? When do we chant this chapter? Before eating. Before eating. Why do we chant it before eating? Give me the popular answer. You don't sleep. Before eating, anyway, we don't sleep. Somebody might say it's the shortest chapter, only 20 verses. And when you're hungry, at that time, if somebody starts chanting slowly, Om Shri Paramatma. Shortest chapter, true, that is one reason. Another reason is, in 15th chapter, Bhagavan says, one of my vibhuti is Vaishvanara Agni. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritah. I am seated in every being as the digestive fire inside. Whatever you offer, that I digest. Means don't look for me somewhere. One devotee went to one Mahatma Ji. He said, can I see God? Can I have vision of God? That Mahatma Ji said, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the digestive fire, I am the sapidity in water. How much have you respected or acknowledged all these expressions? What he is telling I am, that you are ignoring and wanting to find something that is even more subtler. So that is one reason why we chant before eating. Vaishvanara Agni is Bhagavan. Our rishis, what they did is, they connected our day-to-day life with spirituality. When we wake up, which shloka do we chant? Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamoletu Govindah, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Means Lakshmi is wealth, Saraswati is knowledge, and Bhagwan Vishnu is overall prosperity. He says, everything is in my hands. More I put forth effort, Bhagwan's grace will bring all of these things. While taking shower, many people chant Ganga Stotram, invoking the holy Ganges into that water. While going to bed, Karacharana Krutam va, Kayajam Karmajam va. Rest of you know it. Means asking for forgiveness, whatever I have done throughout the day, may I be forgiven if there was any mistake. So every action is tied with something spiritual, so that that mundane action can become a worship. So imagine this action of eating. If we connect it with this idea that when I put this morsel in my mouth, I am not feeding this body, I am feeding Bhagavan Krishna. Just like he comes and steals butter, like that whichever food item I am putting inside, he comes and takes that offering. That simple action will become our upasana. A reminder for that is 15th chapter. Something we need to remind ourselves. So 15th chapter will remind us, and now if we know the meaning and chant, that joy is even greater. Artha Siddhi does Rasa Vruddhi. Artha Siddhi means if you have understood the meaning, that does Vruddhi. It increases the Rasa, the taste or delight that we get in chanting that thing. If you chant Shri Rudram, there is a great joy if you chant with the right swara. But if you know the emotion with which Shri Rudram is presented, what are the meanings of the words, then when you chant, that joy is even greater. Utainam gopa adrushan adrushan udaharyah. Gopa means village children, little boys. They are going to get water, and Bhagwan, out of compassion to give them darshan, is appearing as the sun. And he goes around giving darshan to everybody who wants his darshan. Adrushan gopa, adrushan, adrushan, udaharyah. Point is, Artha Siddhi does Rasa Vruddhi. If we know the meaning, then there is great joy in chanting it. Now we have 2.5 days to cover 15th chapter. The outline of 15th chapter, if you note down, so by the end of this camp, you can again go back and make sure that we really covered 15th chapter. Okay? The first topic is tree of samsara, tree of life. It's helpful to take notes. This chapter is little technical. Tree of samsara, verse number 1 through 3. First verse to the third verse is tree of samsara. Fourth to sixth verse is liberation from this tree of samsara and the qualifications that is needed for a seeker. Fourth to sixth verse is how to get liberation from this samsara and what are the qualifications needed. You can just write one word. Later on, when you get time, you can elaborate it more. 7th through 11th verses, nature of jiva. What is the nature of jiva is 7th through 11th verse. 12th to 15th verse. 12th to 15th verses, Vibhuti of Bhagavan. How does Bhagavan express in this creation? His Vibhuti, glory, is from 12th verse to 15th verse. 16 through 18 is the path to know Purushottama. The path to know Purushottama is 16 through 18. 19th and 20th verse is result of knowledge. Result of knowledge. I will repeat all the topics, you can take a look. Verse 1 to 3 is tree of samsara or tree of life. 4 through 6 is liberation from samsara and qualifications. 7 through 11 is nature of jiva. What is the nature of jiva is 7th verse through 11th verse. 12 through 15 is Vibhuti of Bhagavan, glory of Bhagavan. How does he express in this creation? 16 through 18 is path to know Purushottama. 19, 20th is result of knowledge. Whichever course you join, they give you an outline first, right? By the end of this course, you should know all these things. So by end of 15th chapter, you can go back and make sure on every topic we have gained some new perspectives. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Moola Madhashakham Ashvatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sa Vedavita Adhaschordhvam Prasutastasya Shakhaha गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसुतास्तस्य शाखाः गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Every word in Bhagavad Gita is so deep. To really to do justice, you need long hours of reflection and sufficient time to discuss. One Mahatma Ji, his talk was arranged on 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Karpatri Ji Maharaj. 7 days talk, 1.5 hours each. For all 7 days, he spoke only on this one word, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. What is the meaning of Shri? What is the meaning of Bhagavan? And why did Bhagavan speak? 7 days. I mean, that much of material is there. Bhagavan is elaborating the tree of samsara. Bhagavan Krishna, his teaching style is so precise. Whenever he finds some complex topic, he'll use an example to demonstrate. And whenever you use an example, drishtanta. Example is called as drishtanta. That drishtanta has to be drishta. Means audience should know what are we talking about. If he is describing a tree, he doesn't start describing Kalparuksha. Kalparuksha might be a great tree, but none of us have seen it. Or if you describe about some philosopher's stone, Parasamani, none of us has seen it. He is describing a regular peepal tree with a small twist. What is the twist? He has flipped it upside down. Urdhva moolam adha shakham. Moolam means root. Urdhva means above. So this tree of samsara, tree of life, has its root upwards. That root is symbolizing Purushottama. That root is pure consciousness, Brahman. Call it Sat, Chit, Ananda, give it whatever name you want. They are just different indicators of that same truth. One vegetable, different languages, they'll call different names. But because you call it different names, vegetable is the same, it doesn't change. Like that, the same truth, in one place it's called as Purushottama. Another place it is called as Sankhya. Third place it is called as Gunatita, above the gunas. But it is the same truth which is pure consciousness. Means the point here is, in the midst of looking at the tree, our attention should not get carried away only by the tree and you forget the root. Isn't it true when you see this redwood trees, what catches our attention? The trunk, the height, the leaves, the burl. But the root which is there, that is often missed. So that is the first message Bhagwan gives here. In the samsara vriksha, don't lose sight on consciousness. It is because of that root alone the tree is standing. It is because of consciousness alone this world is existing and it is illumined. And that which is ever present is very easy to be missed. At home also it happens, right? If you are always there, then you are taken for granted. Once in a while you should go. Vacation, business trip. Then when you come back, you realize. Over here, what are we noticing in this room? We see harmonium, we see wall, we see picture, we see people. But that light which is illumining all, that light because of which harmonium, picture, people are seen, is often unnoticed. So Urdhva Moolam means that root should not be lost sight of. The absolute cause of this creation is not some atom. Atom is part of creation. The cause of creation or origin of creation is consciousness. If there is consciousness in the root, what will be there in the effect? If you take sugar and make some sweet items out of it, what will be the nature of those things which you have made? Sweet or sour? Sweet, right? Because it is there in the root. Whatever is there in the cause, same thing will be there in the effect. If consciousness is there at the root of creation, what is there in the effect which is creation? Seeing that alone is moksha. Seeing that alone is divya drishti. Seeing that alone is liberation. Not necessarily only after destruction of creation. We should be able to see it with knowledge. This harmonium which is there is made of wood. So the cause is wood, effect is harmonium. Correct? Now how will I get the wood back when I am looking at the harmonium? How should I pay attention to wood when I am looking at harmonium? Through knowledge, or do I need to break this harmonium and then only I can pay attention to wood? Through knowledge. As long as I know that this is made from wood, even though I am seeing the baffle, I am seeing all this designs over here, attention is still on wood. The design is called as name and form. Substratum is wood. In the same way, this whole creation is made up of different names and forms. The substratum is consciousness. Staying awakened to that truth, or the one who is awakened to that truth, is Buddha, the enlightened one. And one who is asleep to that truth is Buddhu. Because it is right there. If I say, I see the harmonium, but I doubt whether wood is there or not. Means harmonium cannot exist without wood. World cannot exist without consciousness. How world cannot exist without consciousness? Have you ever seen the world devoid of thought? Have you seen this world? Have you experienced this world devoid of thought? In deep sleep, there is no thought, there is no world. So world is experienced because of thought. Thought is illumined because of consciousness. So all three have always appeared together. And there is a state where I don't have world, I don't have thought, but consciousness remains. Which means what? Thought and world depends upon consciousness. Consciousness doesn't depend upon thought and world. Thought and world depends upon consciousness. Consciousness is independent of thought, is independent of world. This is the root of creation, which we should not miss. Now Vedanta will describe so many things about that tree. But in the midst of that description, don't miss the main point, which is Purushottama. Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakham. Adha means downwards. The root is upwards and the branches are downwards. Branches symbolize the entire creation which comes after this consciousness. See, when we wake up, what is the first thing that wakes up? Mind. This thought that I am. Then the thought comes, where am I? Then our to-do list, whatever I have to do after this. But first thing what wakes up is mind. Whatever happens at individual level, same thing happens at cosmic level. Okay, so total mind which wakes up is called as Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha. So Hiranyagarbha, then we are conscious about physical body. Like that, the gross world that we see, physical world that we see, that is the Adhashakam. All of those things will emerge. Urdhvamulam Adhashakam. Ashwatham. Okay, Bhagwan is giving 9 indicators of samsara. So all the high schoolers, there is a quiz coming. So make sure you note all 9 of it. Even for adults, I can ask. Very beautiful, precise indicators of samsara. First is said, Urdhvamulam. Origin is consciousness. Second is the branches. They are coming downwards and they represent this creation which is emerging out of consciousness. Starting from the subtle creation, Hiranyagarbha. All of that is Adhashakam. Ashwatham. Shwaha means tomorrow. Sthaha means present. Ashwathaha means you don't know whether it will be there tomorrow. Ashwatha means constantly changing. Impermanence is the nature of this world. Impermanence. We can look at it positively also, or we can look at it from the standpoint of getting Vairagya also. Which one do you want? First, positively. If we can embrace and accept change, that step is as though embracing Bhagavan. Are we seeing the world the way Bhagavan sees it? If yes, then we have tuned our mind with Bhagavan. We have found Bhagavan actually. You see in any avatar, Rama avatar, Krishna avatar, one thing Bhagavan never tried to fight against was change. If somebody comes, he will welcome. If somebody goes, he will not stop. Agate swagatam kuryat, gachantam na nivarayet. If somebody comes, welcome. Somebody goes, don't stop. That is the nature of this world, constantly changing. Our own physical body, you look at picture 10 years ago. Sometimes people study longer text, Viveka Chudamani or Panchadashi. To complete that text, it takes around 5-7 years. You meet only once a week, right? Study group. So many of them share, we took a picture at the beginning of the study group, end of the study group. It will remind us of this Ashwattham. So many things are changing, we feel it is going to be permanent. More we can embrace it, this world becomes a joyful place to be. Now this we have to sit down and reflect. So in your study group, please do reflect on this point. In your understanding, how have you understood this world to be impermanent? What has it taught us? What can we learn from this nature of this world? Ashwattham. Prahuhu means they speak of it, wise people, they speak of it in this way. Avyayam. See, Bhagavan Krishna also, he uses contradictory terms just to make sure that student is awake. Just now what did he say? Ashwattham. And now he is saying it is avyayam. Avyayam means it is eternal. So Bhagavan, make up your mind. Is it impermanent or is it eternal? See, Bhagavan doesn't say anything against our experience. For the ignorant person, world looks to be eternal only. This world that we are seeing, do we feel it's constantly changing? Or do we feel it is always there? Both are true. It is just like flowing river, like Ganges. You cannot step into the same river twice. You step into it once, second time you go, it's different water. But river is always there. It is so fast that you don't know that it has changed. If you look at it from outside, you feel, Arey, Gangaji is flowing so steadily. In Sanskrit, it is called as Pravahi Nitya. Pravahi means it is changing, but at the same time it appears to be constant. In Buddhism, they give example of the flame. You see the flame behind? Is it constant or is it changing? It is changing. At every point, the wick is burning and the flame is changing, but it is so fast that it doesn't look to be changing. This is called as what? Pravahi Nitya. That is how this world is. It is avyayam. Means we might sleep, we might forget the world, but it is there to give karma phala to others. If one jiva drops the body, it might be reborn again in the same world to get its karma phala. That is why it is avyayam. It is eternal. Now, in the midst of all these things, is there something good also in this world? Or is everything like this only? Impermanent, changing? I say one good thing is there. The leaves of these trees, they are the ones which are protecting this tree. Chandamsi yasya paranani. Paranani means leaf, leaves. What is the leaf? Vedic lifestyle. Chandamsi means Vedas. Living a spiritual life in this samsara. That is the oasis in the desert. There might be Kali Yuga outside, but internally we can live in Satya Yuga. If you have come here in peak summer, outside sometimes it is 110. All of you are used to it. Sacramento also gets 110. But if you have good air conditioning inside, does it matter what temperature it is outside? That is this Vedic lifestyle. Outside it might be Kali Yuga. Everything we are seeing is out of place. We might feel it is out of place. But inside this sadhaka revels in Bhagavan. That ability is brought about by Vedic lifestyle. Now, Vedic lifestyle, suddenly we don't have to think too much of technical rituals, long rituals. There are two indicators of a Vedic lifestyle. What should be the culmination? One indicator is whenever we do some sadhana, it could be japa, it could be prayer, it could be even teaching Balvihar. Everything is sadhana. That sadhana should invoke a sense of purity. Having done that sadhana, we should get this feeling, I am purer than before. Whatever brings impurity, whatever brings disturbance in the mind, even if it is the most holy act, we have to rethink whether we are doing it correctly. That is the first insignia, that whenever we do spiritual sadhana, it should invoke a sense of purity. Second is, our ahankara should go down. Means we should start feeling, I am very small in front of Bhagavan. If that sadhana becomes another reason to have more pride, then we have missed the boat. Those are the slippery slopes in our spiritual journey. It is good to get on the spiritual path. But while we are on the spiritual path, it is Kshurasya Dhara, razor's edge. There is one story in the life of Moses. There was a shepherd who was praying to God, but all he knew was how to speak to sheep. So he was talking to God also in the same way. He said, Bhagwan, please stay around. Don't go out of my sight. And if you feel tired, do let me know. I can massage your feet. And if you are hungry, do let me know. I will bring some food for you. Now Moses goes and sees the shepherd praying that way. He says, this is not how you should pray. Prayer means these are the things you should say. He gives that teaching to him. The shepherd also was a little taken aback. He said, oh, this is not how I should pray. He listened to everything. But later when he went ahead, Bhagwan comes and tells him, please go back and learn how to pray. Learn from that shepherd how to pray, because Bhavagrahi Janardhana. I am the one who takes the emotion, not the action. With the right emotion, whichever language we pray, that is the Vedic lifestyle. In any religion, if you see, this point is emphasized so much. They say religious life should not increase our pride. In Islam, there is one sect called as Sufi. Very Vedantic their thoughts are. They have one event, one festival they do once a year, where they have to stay awake the whole night. Whole night they have to stay awake. So one Sufi saint goes with his son to that mosque. Everybody is enthusiastic in the beginning. Around 11 o'clock, they start feeling sleepy. Still some people stay awake. By 1 o'clock, some of them doze off. 2 o'clock, 50% dozed off. By 3:30, even the main mullah who was there, he also dozes off. So it's this Sufi saint and the young boy, both of them are awake. And this boy tells father, "Father, look, everybody is asleep. We are the only two people who are doing it the right way." The saint tells the boy, "Son, it is better that you go to sleep. Then feel we are better than others." Whatever sadhana can reduce our ahankara, that is the right sadhana. Whatever sadhana increases our ahankara, that sadhana we have to rethink. It could be karma yoga also. Litmus test of karma yoga is how much has love for Bhagwan increased? How much do we feel I am the servant, he is the master? If that bhavana doesn't come, even if the external result is very good, still there is more to be gained as far as spiritual gain is concerned. Okay, this is Chandamsi Yasya Paranani. Yastam Veda Sa Vedavita. One who knows this tree in this way, that person knows it. Okay, 5 indicators. What is the first one? You can raise your hand and say. First one is consciousness. Second is branches are downwards, Hiranyagarbha and the whole creation. Third is constantly changing, Ashwatham. Then fourth one was eternal. Very good, very good. It's eternal, Avyayam. Then what is that one good thing in this creation? Vedic lifestyle. Chandamsi Yasya Paranani. Yastam Veda Sa Vedavit. One who knows this tree in this way, that person is Vedavit. If he knows only the branches, all other things other than the root, that person is not Vedavit. If he knows only the root, does not know the branches, will he still be called Vedavit? No, he has to know both of it. He has to know that when he sees the branches, all of them have emerged from that same Purushottama. It is like this, If somebody says, "I know gold, but I don't know ornament." When gold becomes ornament, I cannot recognize that gold anymore. You see, that is not correct knowledge. Even when that gold has become ornament, I should be able to recognize gold. If I know only ornament and don't know gold, that is also not good. So gold represents Purushottama. The name and form represents creation. When I look at ornament, I should know the origin, gold. Now there are these roots, right? What was the second indicator? Adhashakham. These roots, how are they? Adhascha urdhvam prasutaha tasya shakhaha. Some roots are going up, some roots are coming down. Or some branches are going up, some branches are coming down. Shakaha means branches. Moolam means root. Now what are these branches which are going up and down? Those that are going up are higher worlds. Those that are going down are lower worlds. That is one meaning. Adhascha urdhvam prasutaha tasya shakaha. Means some worlds are up, some worlds are below. Now up and below is not like a tiffin box, okay? Like you have one world here, second world here, third world here. Higher world means greater degrees of freedom, greater happiness, less sorrow. That is higher world. Lower world means more sorrow, less degrees of freedom. So when they describe Naraka, Garuda Purana and all, it's scary. They chant Garuda Purana at a time when our mind is open to becoming spiritual. Whenever there is loss of somebody in the home, that is the time when they chant Garuda Purana. But the idea there is, we get inspired to start living a spiritual life. Not to scare us, although it looks like that. In Naraka, there is a boiling pot of oil. In that, jivas are fried, like vadas, And when they come out, they are almost unconscious. Water is sprinkled, then they have to again enter. But see, there the Sharira is different. It is not Manushya Sharira. Human body cannot take much suffering. Those Shariras are called as Yatana Sharira. Different body is given to go through it. That is one meaning, higher world and lower world. Second meaning is, the branches which are going up are Devatas, divine qualities even in human beings. And branches which are going down are what? Asuras or demonic qualities. In Sandipani, Puja Guruji used to do satsang. In the evening, he would call all the brahmacharis, and every day he would give one question. Very simple question, but answer you will not find in the book. Everybody has to share. After that, Guruji will summarize. And you cannot repeat another person's answer. So everybody would be eager to go first. So one day he asked, we all know Devatas are there to do good. Why did God create Asuras? What will you say? Good cannot exist without evil. You mean to say we will not know what is good unless you have a contrast which is bad. Very good. What else? Value of good is understood when we see the opposite. All good answers. Guruji said, Asuras are there so that Devatas don't go out of check. In the parliament also, you need a ruling party, you need an opposing party. If there is only ruling party, then you can take things for granted. What we are trying to appreciate here is, everything in Bhagwan's creation has a place. This is tree of samsara, right? We might feel, oh, why are there asuras? There should be only devatas. If only devatas are there, very quickly devatas also will become asuras. Any good quality, if it comes with pride that I am good, does not remain good quality anymore. So asuras will make sure that you are constantly in check. Okay, what is modern day asura? Or asura in our life? Or we think they are asuras? I had read one article by one Mahatma Ji. The title of that article was Nindaka Niyare Rakhiye. Nindaka means people who criticize you. Keep all of them very close. And if somebody criticizes, we feel they are asura only. And you know what he said in that article? Criticism can be only of two types. One criticism is, it will be valid criticism. There are so many things in ourselves we don't see. If somebody points out, then we can work on it. That's how Bhagwan has made our mind. We never see any shortcoming in ourselves. Second, he said, criticism can be invalid. Somebody is criticizing for the sake of criticizing. They might have some grudge against us. Because of that, they are criticizing. And he said, there is good in both. See, first one we can understand, right? If there is any shortcoming and somebody criticizes, the good in that is we can improve upon it. But if somebody is criticizing for the sake of criticizing, you know that you have not done it. What is good in that? He said that person is warning you for the future. Such a thing can come, be careful. The point is, devatas and asuras, both are needed. Those who do stuti, those who praise, are actually not doing that much good as those who are criticizing. Asuras are also in their own place. Adhaschordvam prasutaha tasya shakhaha. How many are done? 6. 5 in the previous verse. 6th one is the branches are going up and down. Adhascha urdhvam prasutaha tasya shakhaha. More we will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Now you will have study group. More details Bharti ji will give. I'll just share a few things after she is done. Sorry? Then wait, I'll speak first, then you can divide. Yeah. Once they get up, it's hard to quieten them. Group discussion is a very powerful way to emphasize what we have heard. Okay, so it is not another discourse, it is something that we will share based on what we have reflected. And the coordinators also can make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. And if you have any other questions, you can bring it up. If something was not clear, let us say, or you did not agree with something, so discuss it. And then when we meet in the evening, we can summarize based on that. First question is, why does Bhagavan say the origin of creation is consciousness? How can we align our vision with this understanding? What are the different facets of this particular indicator, Urdhva Moolam? We all live such a busy life. In that, Bhagavan is telling us, pay attention to Urdhva Moolam.
Is this the first question?
First question. I'm just elaborating. What are the different facets of understanding consciousness is at the root of this creation? I elaborated it just so that to give some direction, what we have to be thinking about. Second one is, what are some learnings we can get by understanding this world is impermanent? Ashwatham. What are some insights we can get with this indicator? What are the benefits of living a life of sadhana? Chandamsi yasya paranani means Vedic lifestyle. What are the benefits of living a Vedic lifestyle and lifestyle of sadhana? How can we make it more regular? This is part of the same question. How can we make spiritual practice as our routine? Last question is, discuss divine qualities and demonic tendencies, divine tendencies and demonic tendencies in the context of everyday life. How do they influence our life? And how can we strengthen divine qualities? Question is one, but elaboration is just around it so that we know what we are discussing. Okay?